Okay, so the next thing, when I do videos, I always record them through QuickTime. I don't think, show you QuickTime while doing QuickTime, but basically, I click QuickTime, and when I'm here in File, I press like Record Screen. You have to press the record button, and then I just record the full screen. All right, so the next step is to make and record the video. I always use the same PowerPoint template and then adjust it. So the front is always the objective, and then I insert some kind of GIF. The way that you insert a GIF is you go to, you can search for them. I usually go to Giphy.com. And when you click on the GIF, you actually can't just like copy. You have to save like as a full photo to your desktop. So let's say, for example, I was saving Taylor Swift for some reason. No, even better, let's save RBG. But let's say I was saving RBG. I'd open it up. I'd click here, save image as, and I'd save it to my desktop, and then I'd insert it into my PowerPoint. So I'm always objective with some kind of interesting GIF. And honestly, the secret to the videos looking like they're movies is that I just have a lot of GIFs. Although sometimes I do embed a video or two. By the way I embed videos is I find one on YouTube, and then I use a YouTube to MP3 converter, which I will make sure that I give you the link to. It ends up looking super sketchy when you download it, like something else will always open, but I've never gotten malware yet. So that's the other way that I end up inserting things and making them look cool and interesting, which is not too hard. So anyway, I always start with the concept, and then I introduce the special guest. This is the same slide every time. And then after the special guest explains the steps, I will guide people through a problem using the steps that the person just did. And often I usually have 2 embedded questions in this place, in the front, and 2 embedded questions in the steps. And then I always end with some kind of thing to celebrate at the end. So, and I use this same brain every single time. So here the Bruno is between the 2 brains. Here the brain is dancing with Spider-Man because it was a Spider-Man video. So the ending is always yay for your super brain. You record yourself. This writing is writing that's saved after I already recorded. So I don't start with the writing. It's a blank PowerPoint, and then I talk through it, and as I talk through it, I'm writing on it with my pen. And so you can see, like, if I start the slideshow, here's the pen, I click the pen, and now I can write on the slides, and then if I need to, over here, I can erase it. And then go back. The secret, I think, to doing these is to record it all through, and if you make a mistake, just like re-say it, and then edit it when you're done. So I record it through QuickTime. Down here's where I would open QuickTime. You actually can't. I can't do it because I'm using QuickTime to record this. I go to File. It says Record Screen. I click the Record button. I record the whole thing. This is the button. This thing with the square inside is where I would press to stop it. So, I'll play from current slide. Now all I see is PowerPoint. I'll talk over it, blah, 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 blah. When I'm all done, I'll stop. I'll save it. And then I drag that into an iMovie, and I edit it as an iMovie. And I find this really nice because you can cut and paste. So like, just to give you an example, like let's say I extend this, just so you can hear like how choppy it really is. Listen to how I record.
Today, we're going to find out what hundreds of numbers between. We already did this with tens. Do you remember when this cute little puppy was stuck between the wall and the sofa? Now we have another puppy. Stuck between 2 pillows. These puppies are getting These puppies...
You can hear that there's lots of errors, right? I'm not pressed about those. I just cut them as I go. And so that's why this is all in these little pieces, is I cut out the pauses and I cut out like whatever. I'll also take clips and I'll speed them up, right? And I'll speed them up not only like things where I'm not talking, but I'll speed up when I'm doing something like counting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
My benchmark is to always have the video be under 8 minutes. Every now and then it will go to more than that. So what you have to do basically is you drag your clips that are all pieces of it to your thing. Sorry, you insert them as media. I prefer to just like open my Finder and drag them in. Then you drag them to put them in. You drag them down here. You edit. I use the space bar to pause and then Command B to cut. And then I'm just cutting and deleting. And then see, like here was the special guest.
Way farther down the number line from these numbers. So what work should we show? For that, we're going to ask our special guest.
And then I drag in the special guest.
It's way.
Sorry. And then I drag in the special guest video that I have. And then I go back to the rest of my clip. So I can just insert that in. And then I have the same opening. Like this is always the same opening. So I can email that to you.
Welcome to Kippy C Math. Today,
so that you can paste that in. Something to know is we're purposely calling it Kippy C Math, not 3rd grade math, 4th grade math, because some of these videos are used by other grades. And then at the end, like I said, I always have the dancing super brain with some out music. And the music you can just like lay over. The way you insert sound effects, like the easiest way is you could go to audio and you could put any of these in. So, I don't know, there's a bell tower. If you take this whole thing, you can just drag it down here. And now it's going to play.
So anyway, iMovie takes time to get.
So that's the easiest way to do sound clips. The other thing that I will do is I will go to freesound.org, and you can almost always search for whatever sound you want, and then you upload it just like before. It's, you know, in your media, and then you drag that underneath. You could also put something on top of something you've already recorded. So let's say this is what my recording looks like, and I want this to go on top. Then I click on this, and I can make this like a picture in a picture. Now I have this. It's super weird, obviously, because why would we have a screen on top of a screen? But like, now I have a double screen if I wanted. So you can kind of mess with that. I'm trying to think if there's other ones that are like super useful. Those are basically the main things I use. Like here to put a picture in a picture, here to like size something, and sound and speed are the main things. So anyway, iMovie takes time to get used to, and you can decide how much you want to use it. I just wanted to let you know like the very basics of what I do. So when I'm all done, I go to File. This one happens to be all done. I go to Share. So then I'm going to save it. When it's all done getting saved, then I go to YouTube. I upload it. After you upload the video to YouTube and you get your link, then you paste that link here. No one really needs the link, but it's just to keep because it can, you know, we always want to be able to find everything. And then you're going to go to this thing. You're going to go to where it says H5P content, add new, and then you click on interactive video. You're going to name it. And then right here, you just want to paste in your link. So now it's all set and ready for you to add interactions. Now normally I just play it through to check it one more time, but I'm just going to jump to showing you where these interactions go.
A number between 0 and 10. Go ahead and type in an example of a number that could be here.
I pause it. This is where I want to insert the video. And for this one, I'm going to do a fill in the blank. I generally do only 3. I do statements 4, I guess. I usually just do statements, fill in the blank, or drag and drop. Mostly fill in the blank and drag and drop. So for fill in the blank, first thing I want is I want to make it a poster. And then it's going to automatically pause the video and it's going to automatically come up. I copy this time over here and I just add 1,000th of a minute because I don't want it to be up once they answer it. I want it to go away. In the title space, I put the number question it is because teachers view the data and by the name. But then it's number, like for G3 R20, but then it's organized by title, so I always title them 1, 2, 3, or 4. I generally do 4 questions per video. So here I'm going to put, for this one, and the directions are all like in there, they tell you what to do, but like what is a number between 0 and 10? And then here I'm going to put the answer that I will accept. And in this case, I'm going to accept 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I put those between asterisks, and the dashes separate the acceptable answer. And I'm actually not going to worry about any of the rest of this for this one. So I'm done. There's the question that I want to appear. And I kind of want them to be able to see the number line. So I think I'm going to put it kind of up high here. You kind of have to be really careful about that, and sometimes you have to adjust the size, and that gets finicky. So now,
you could have said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I always
6,
answer
7,
the question.
8, or 9. All of those are bigger than...
Two really important things. I always narrate the question a lot before I put it up because we don't have strong readers always, and not everyone is a strong reader. And I always answer the question. So you can hear how I'm narrating the question here, right?
Less than 10. What's an example of a number between 0 and 10? Go ahead and type in an example of a number that could be here.
So you can hear that narration, and you can see like the question's going to come up. After the question is answered, the plus check.
You could have said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
The other thing I would say is I make sure that the check shows up. Like, you can size this, and if you size it like that, then they're going to have to scroll, and we don't want them to have to scroll. That will throw them off, so I always am doing it like that. Now, I could do a few. Let's say I wanted to add a statement like this. I do all the same things, right? Make it a poster, adjust the times here to have an extra thousands, title it number 2, right? And then change how many hundreds are in 1,000. And I'm going to give them choices. You always put the right choice first for this type of question. So I could put 10, 1, add a statement, 100, 1,000. I think that's it. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. Now I'm done. Now for this one, again, I'm going to shape it to like show the full question. I'm going to do it just like that. We're all set. Here's an example of another fill in the blank I'm going to do. But this time I want there to be more than just words. So I'm going to do like 39 is the answer, but I want the word tens. So I can do it like that. Oh, except for it's not supposed to be tens. So you can edit it right here. Another thing here, I want this answer, but I always make sure that I accept the answer with the comma as well. This is how you make a drag and drop. Step 1, make it into a poster. Make it 1,000th longer and name it the right number. For me, this is number 3. And then you're going to add a background image. It might end up looking distorted when you get here. If that's the case, you can just adjust these sizes. I actually think mine looks fine. No, I am going to make mine a little bit smaller. And I just kind of play with it to see how I like it. Okay, great. And now the first thing you do is you add drop zones. So for me, I'm going to need 4. I give them like quick little things, and I usually make them only contain 1 element. And then I size them the way I need them to be. And then what I like to do is I just do copy, paste. Right? Paste. And paste. But then you do have to go back in and rename them so that it'll be clear what you're doing. So I'm going to name this just H, so I know what I'm doing. I'm going to go back and name this 10s, so I know what I'm doing. And 1s. Oops, 1s. Okay, now I insert the things. Now you can insert images. I'm just going to make it text. The text I need is these digits, so I'm going to do 2. And I'm going to select all these drop zones because I want them to be able to put it in any place, even though that's not right. I'm going to pick the right answer in a minute. So there's my 2, and I'm going to make it the right size because I'm going to want a 2. And again, copy, paste. paste, paste, and I'm going to make these what I want them to be. So I want this one to be a 3. I still want it to be able to be dragged to all the drop zones. I'm going to make this one a 1. I need that to be dragged to all the drop zones, and I want this one to be a 9. Okay, so now the last step is I click back on the drop zones, and now I can select what I want the answer to be. So I want 2 to go in the thousands. I want here 3 to go in the hundreds. I want here 1 to go in the tens. And I want here 9 to go in the ones. The last thing I always do with this one is under behavioral settings, I click show title because I don't want it to show the title. And then one thing that can be really tricky with this one is when it's sizing, like it doesn't always size properly. You see how it's a square? I always hate that. So then I go in here and I usually try to adjust. And sometimes it's finicky and it takes several tries. That looks good. And I'm gonna have to make it smaller so that you can see the earlier answer, if that makes sense. So that looks pretty good. If it shows up like that, they'll be able to drag and check. Awesome. When that's all done, I'll get this code here. I copy it. I'm gonna paste it here for safekeeping. And then I'm gonna paste it here in my lesson where it says add lesson content. When everything is filled in, you've added lesson content, these 4 boxes are filled in, and you've got your problems down below, then you're done. When you preview it, you're going to see the video on top. You're going to see that it's there for the right date, and this will take the kids to Edulastic. This will take them to the exit ticket.